Hey guys, so I'm not really sure where to start this video, and I didn't really think about this video before I recorded it. I just wanted it to be kind of raw and from the heart basically. So I'll start from the beginning. Ever since I was little, I've always fantasized about being a mom and basically like playing that role. And I would play dolls a lot with my friends, and we would talk about having kids young and starting families and all that kind of stuff. But I think it was more of like, I wouldn't say I was obsessed with the idea of having a baby so young, but I was just really interested in the topic of having children and being a mom. So I always knew that I wanted to have children at a young age. I just didn't know how young, and I knew that I wanted to make it through high school first. That was always a struggle for me because I had severe depression and anxiety. So I was in and out of the hospital a lot, and I was just struggling with finding a purpose to live. So I felt like if I had a child, then that would give me a purpose. And when I met John, this may sound a little bad, but he was someone that could give me that child. And I knew that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him, and that he was the one for me. We ended up having a unplanned pregnancy back in 2015. I was starting out my senior year, and it sadly ended in a miscarriage. We weren't trying for that baby, but the idea and thought of having a baby with him and him wanting a baby with me, it really just sparked something between us, and we both decided that we wanted to have kids young. So that was already in our discussion, and just talking about it kind of like put a light in my eyes, and it gave me a purpose to live because I had such a bright future ahead of me with John and with a possible baby. So after I graduated high school, I ended up graduating a half a year earlier than my class, just because it was really hard for me to go to school and I had a lot of anxiety about it. So I worked my butt off to get my diploma early, and John and I got an apartment together at the beginning of the summer of 2017. And a month before we moved out, I was already packing my stuff and everything, and he was doing the same. And we decided to start trying for a baby. And I just want to make it clear that I did not trap him. He wanted this baby just as much as I did, and we both just knew that we wanted to have a family. So I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. I found out I was pregnant about 4 days before we moved into our apartment, and we both were pretty excited about it. I was very scared because I both wanted it and I both was nervous about it. It's one thing to be an 18-year-old and want to have a baby and have unprotected sex, and then be pregnant and basically have your life flash before your eyes because it's set in stone and it's not going anywhere. As a teenager, your frontal lobe hasn't fully developed yet to make the realistic decisions of your future, like having a child, and it doesn't develop until you're at least between the ages of 21 and 25. So at 18, I wasn't looking at the reality of things and how hard it could be. I was just so caught up in wanting a baby and a purpose to live and a family with John that I just didn't really realize, I guess, the consequences. I'm not saying that Jaina was a mistake or she definitely wasn't an accident, and I don't regret her, but I do recommend that others wait to have a child, just because you don't realize how hard it is. And I love Jaina to death, and she is the best thing that has ever happened to me alongside John. I just maybe wish that I waited a few years, but I would say that no one's really ready for a baby at any time, and especially when you're so young, just know what you're giving up if you're wanting to have a child, because once you get pregnant, there's no really way to take it back unless you get an abortion, but that's a whole nother story. I ended up having Jaina when I was 19, and an extra year didn't really change how much my thought process was. I guess my thought process was that we would live in our own apartment, have our own space, we'd have our cat Bailey, and we had a baby on the way, and it was like a dream come true. But what I didn't realize is the financial struggles we would go through. We have had to ask his dad for a little bit of help, and that's something that I regret. I wish that we were more financially stable, but that doesn't mean that I would go back and change having Jaina when I did, because she definitely has helped me find myself and helps me with my depression. Even though I had postpartum depression after I had her, it's definitely worth every minute, every second of the day waking up to a beautiful baby smiling at you. So I guess that's my story of why I chose to have a planned pregnancy at the age of 18. Please be kind in the comments. Don't go bashing me, because everyone has their own story and the way that they choose to live, and if my way isn't your way, then that's okay, but just please keep your comments or your negative comments to yourself. I'm not really sure how to end this video either, so I guess I'm just gonna leave it with that comment. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you guys are supportive, and if you have any other questions or want to know more, you can message me or you can comment below. Thanks, and have a great day, guys.